If you don't mind, Angela, maybe take a moment and tell us what's been happening with you and your restaurant in the last week or two.
Well, in the last week here in California, they've just been doing more and more lockdowns. So 2 days before Thanksgiving, we got notice that all outdoor dining, which we worked very hard to do and put up, spent about 60 to 80,000 doing all the changes over the last year that they wanted, was going to be shut down the night before Thanksgiving. And, basically I had to let my staff know that they didn't have a job for the holidays because we can't sustain with to-go. To-go is about we make gross about 10%. We lose about 90% profit. And anybody knows anything about a brick and mortar business and a restaurant, the margins are very thin and the costs are very high.
Yep.
I tried to stay open the first time around for to-go for my customers and also for the community, because the community really miss you. And in LA, we have a lot of people that are older and alone, or they're living alone because they've moved here and all their families out of state. So connection and community is very, very vital to them. So they did come out for to-go and it broke my heart, but I didn't have enough money to sustain this time. So I had to shut down completely.
Now, for people to understand running a business, how many employees do you have? Your employees, when you shut down, are they getting any kind of a comp money from the state? Is the state filling them out? Tell us the details behind it.
Well, I wish this restaurant was in Indiana or Michigan, because in LA, we are at a gradual climb up to $15 an hour. The expenses are very high here. The rents are very high. We are already losing businesses to the minimum wage hike. Many of my other competitors and friends were closing because of the minimum wage hike. So when this went down, unemployment's all they had, they could rely on. And then I was lucky enough to get the PPP loan, but the PPP loan only lasts for 2.5 months. Mind you, I got $100,000. I have 15 employees pre-pandemic. And basically that's roughly, my payroll is roughly 25 to 30,000 a month. And so between rent and that, it lasted 2.5 months. And we weren't actually allowed to be fully open either. So I kind of did stretch that, because I once we went to-go, I basically went down to four employees from 15.
From 15 to 4 employees. And
yeah.
These are, in a small business, everybody works like a family. And when you're 15 employees,
Absolutely.
Everybody knows each other, especially a restaurant, you're talking to each other. You don't call a boss. It's just friendship, relationship that there's there.
Yeah.
What did these 11 employees of yours / friends of yours that you're working with, how were they paying a price for you having to let them go?
Oh, I have just a little history of my pub. It's been here since 1978. It's one of the few holdovers of the Cheers bars. I'm the third owner. The kitchen staff has been there since 1978.
Wow.
And they are a brother, George, who works the day shift. Miguel works at night and runs the kitchen, does the grocery shopping and the cleaning. His wife does dishes and buses, and now his son has come in. So my entire kitchen, their entire household depends on me solely. They've never had another job since 1978. Now, my front house, I had staff that had been with me since day one. I've had it 10 years. So I had a bartender that had been with me 10 years that I lost through this, because he had to go and try to find other means of work. And, I had some that I was able to keep. But yeah, I mean, they have to find other work. And if they can't find other work, they got to rely on unemployment. I can't afford to pay them to stay at home. I don't have that kind of extra funds. So
here's a question for you. Did it create any kind of friction between you and them? Because a lot of times situations like this, what they do is they could say, well, Angela, you don't understand the situation I'm going through. It's my wife. I've been there since 78 and I have a son, and we're running this thing together. Can you help us out? And then you want to help them out. You can't help them out. Did it cause any friction between you and your employees?
It didn't. I will say in the beginning, Miguel, who runs my kitchen, the other caveat with Miguel and his wife who run my kitchen is they were here on a work visa for many years. and they had just applied for their citizenship in February and had gotten it, and they were waiting for the paperwork, but then the paperwork got postponed, and he was terrified to apply for unemployment, even though he's been paying in the system forever, because he's afraid until he got that actual certificate in his hand, he was afraid to take money from the government. So for me, his brother, George, was able to get unemployment. And I paid him out of what funds I had to keep him going. And then luckily the PPP, really, I stayed open as an essential business. And I employed him, and I did to go. And I was bleeding about $30,000 a month loss staying open for to go. But I had to keep them employed. I mean, what are they going to do?
That's right.
What are they going to do? You know what I mean?
Oh, no question. You see, sometimes when you look at the media, sometimes they portray business owners as being these rich, greedy people that all they care about is themselves, but they don't see the story behind closed doors where folks have stayed with the same place since 1978, and a family, 4 people have a job from the same family working for you. I think what I'd like to do is I'd like the audience to see which video was viral. And, David, maybe this will kind of give you an idea what story she was telling. And then I want to kind of share with everybody else, the audience that hasn't seen, what Mayor Garcetti had to say about your video. Here's the video.
So this is my place, the Pineapple Hill Grill and Saloon. If you go to my page, you can see all the work I did for outdoor dining, for tables being 7 feet apart. And I come in today because I'm organizing a protest, and I came in to get stuff for that. And I walk into my parking lot, and obviously Mayor Garcetti has approved this. Has approved this being set up for a movie company. I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here. And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money, and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this. Tell me that this is dangerous, but right next to me, as a slap in my face, that's safe. This is safe. 50 feet away. This is dangerous. Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help. We need somebody to do something about this.
David, what's your reaction when you see that video right there with Angela?
That's bringing tears to my eyes. That bothers me tremendously. Okay, that is heart-wrenching, and I'm sorry. That bothers me. But,
You know what's intense? I want to read this to everybody that's watching this. Mayor Garcetti responded, and he gave a statement. Before I read the statement, this is what's going on with California. California has declared the entertainment industry workers essential. That's what was going on 50 feet away from where you were at. And in LA County, they must follow strict guidelines such as eating in staggered shifts or in an area large enough to stay 6 feet apart. Restrictions: LA County is shutting down all dining at restaurants, breweries, wineries, and bars for at least 3 weeks, starting Wednesday, November 25th, which was 2 weeks ago, amid a surge in coronavirus cases. Health official announced Sunday, and Mayor Garcetti said, "My heart goes out to Miss Marsden and the workers at the Pineapple Hill Saloon who have to comply with the state and county public health restrictions that close outdoor dining. No one likes these restrictions, but I do support them as our hospital ICU bed filled to capacity and cases have increased by 500%. We must stop this virus before it kills thousands of more Angelinos. Angela, what do you have to say with what Mayor Garcetti had to say to you?
I'm outraged. Since then I've made some progress, and we just won with a judge in the LA courts, and the judge ruled in our favor and said that it was arbitrary. It was not backed by science. But what I like to say to him, and what I have already said, is do not sit and tell me that there are stay-at-home orders, because that is not real. There is 50% of us out here that cannot stay at home and work off Zoom and work off tech, or have rich families. So when you say we're in this together, and you say, you can stay at home, you're lying. That is not an option. You're making people choose between having a place to live and eat or not. Like, this is life and death situation. This is evictions. This is no food. Forget the fact that I have children. I have employees with children that have no money now for Christmas. They're wondering what they're going to get how they're going to get through even Christmas, let alone paying the rent. My manager was crying. Her unemployment is done. It's up. And we don't know. They have come up with nothing. They're on vacation right now. There's no emergency session for us to get our, PPP or unemployment. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is.
Angela, are you open now? Are you open right now, or no?
No, I am. I will say that through this, we've been blessed. We've had a lot of donations, and I have been sticking with what I said in the beginning, which is I will not stop until they let us open. And I'm speaking on the behalf of all small businesses here now. But I'm hoping Friday that I'll be able to go over some numbers now. And with the help, I've gotten support from all over the world. I had the most amazing thing happen. Brooks Burgers in Florida, they own 3 hamburger places there, called me and said, I want to support you from over the pond, because we don't need the government to take care of us. We can take care of each other. And he offered to pay a month's worth of rent. And that's another restaurateur in a state that's open.
Powerful.
I was crying. Yep. Today he called and he said, I decided, my rent's like $10,000. So he said, I'm going to send you $5,000 right away. And this really obviously triggered me. And he said, I think we're going to take the rest and have the customers we'll do a celebration and a fundraiser and have them match it so we can get you more money. I could not stop crying, because when I had my bar, every Christmas I did Bad Santa Christmas, and it would be a fundraiser, and I would raise funds for the orphanages and for the other community. And then now I'm in this situation, and the kindness of this person, it was, I don't have words to explain the generosity, the humanity, the kindness and outpour, and I'm just
great to see, because other restaurant owners and business owners obviously know the challenges you guys are going through. There's a community, and the benefit the restaurant owner in Florida has over you is the DeSantis's regulations in Florida are very different than Newsom's regulations in the state of California. Has this event at all influenced you to consider moving to another state?
Honestly, right before this happened, I'm from Indiana. All my family's there. And my mom said, Angela, just throw in the towel, come back home, live with us, open a place here. And I couldn't. I sat and I thought about it. I said, Mom, and my mom worked in a bread factory. She's a very determined woman. So I called her. I said, Mom, I've been in LA 28 years. This is my town, and people are fleeing out of it, and nobody is doing anything about it. And I said, I can't just leave. I have to finally start telling the truth and showing people what's going on instead of keeping it in. I just can't. I have 5 bar owner friends who haven't been able to open for 9 months because they don't have food. They don't have food in their establishment. One of them has gone through their life savings and their unemployment's almost up. The other one took out a personal loan. Neither of them got PPPs. The other one has 2 bars. She'd just gotten her second one a year ago. They're done. I mean, we lost 110,000 restaurants, and that was before this closure. So I can't just leave. I can't. I got to do something. I have to move the giant because somebody's got to stand up for this community, you know?
Well, more power to you. Just so you know, there's a lot of people in the state of California that would like more folks like yourself to be vocal, because sometimes people can't speak for themselves. And it's great to see your video going viral on Twitter, getting 9.2 million views. The challenge is, I mean, on GoFundMe, you know, thank God there's a product like GoFundMe invented by a capitalist that allows times like this for people to take advantage of it. I believe you've been able to raise $183,000. We're going to put the link to GoFundMe below as well, which just tells you how much support you have. But I wonder for the other business owners that have lost their restaurants, who couldn't get a video to go viral, or somehow, some way didn't go their way, they have to shut down, and those 15 employees are lost.